What's up, y'all? It's Fizzle the Engineer here. The homie Armand basically asked me to touch upon this topic of what traits companies look for in applicants. So, the first thing is the skills. You got to make sure that you have the skills that the company is looking for that particular role, right? So, if you're talking CS, it's basically those core fundamentals. Knowing about the data structures, knowing about algorithms, knowing how to actually implement these things, and being able to write code. Make sure that you can do that. That's a key thing. It's like I always say, who you know might get you the interview, but what you know will get you the job. And if you happen to make it through the interview, but you don't know stuff, you don't know how to code, you don't know all of that, it'll become very apparent once you start on the job. So make sure that you pick up those skills that are necessary. The second thing is being able to work with a team. So a lot of times you'll go to an interview and they'll ask you, have you ever been in a situation where you were working with a group and, it didn't go the way you wanted it to go? Somebody wasn't doing his or her work. How did you react? How did you handle it? That's real. It happens on the job sometimes. Not on my current team. Shout out to all of y'all. You're cool. But it's happened before, and they want to see that you know how to actually deal with that, but also that even if everybody else is doing what, he or she is supposed to be doing, that you're also doing what you're supposed to be doing and you know how to interact with these individuals. You can leverage their knowledge. They can leverage your knowledge. And then as a unit, you can produce quality code. You can produce a quality product. So the next thing is being a fast learner. Life isn't all about knowing everything, as you've probably realized by now, but it's a lot so about being able to pick up things very quickly, and we want to see that even if you don't know like C# or something, you've been coding in C++ all your life, hopefully you'll be able to just jump in, pick up C# and hit the ground running. It's about applying, taking what you know and applying that to new things and being able to leverage your existing knowledge to progress and to advance in your career. So being a fast learner, especially when you're coming out of school, because you're being hired on potential, right? It's not so much about what you've done in the past because you haven't had a full-time job. Even if you've had an internship, right? You haven't had a full-time job. You haven't, really been around long enough to really show, hey, I've produced all of these products. So keep that in mind. And the fourth thing is passion. And I feel like it influences all of these other things because if you're passionate, I feel like you'll pick up those skills because maybe you'll be working on a side project. And I've mentioned in some of my other videos how important side projects are. If you haven't seen those, go check out How to Talk to a Tech Recruiter, where I go into detail about things that I look for basically when I'm recruiting at conferences. But yeah, so make sure that you're passionate about the space. Because like I said, that'll help you with the first one. That'll also help you when you're working with a team, because if you're passionate about the subject matter, you're excited to go learn and you're excited to discuss it with your coworkers, and that leads to a better product. You're also excited about making sure that the product is a great experience for the customers, which is huge, right? Because without the customers, your software isn't going to sell. What's the point of it? Why are you even making the software? You know what I'm saying? So there's that. And then the third thing that I mentioned is being a fast learner. And I feel like, for me at least, I learn better if I'm passionate about something, right? So make sure that you can, exhibit that passion. You can show off that passion to the recruiter or whoever it is. And it's a little bit harder to do on a resume. There are ways though, but that's why I typically like to meet people in person. I like to network a lot so I can meet recruiters and people in person, because once they see your personality, your resume means a little bit less. But do still make sure that your resume, is as good as possible and all of that. So those are the four things. I hope that helps out. Let me know if you have any questions. Peace.